What is up, you guys? I wanted to come to you guys tonight with my AEW review. This was the this was the um, this was the birthday party for -1 tonight on AEW. So tonight was -1's birthday tonight on AEW. Happy birthday to -1. Happy birthday to you. So now let's get right into tonight's show for -1's birthday. To start off the show, we had Hangman Page in the Dark Order versus Serpentico, Luther, Angelico, and Jack Evans in a tag team match to start off the show tonight for AEW. This was a decent tag team match to start off the night for -1's birthday tonight. This was a decent tag team match. It was pretty decent. I thought it was an alright tag team match. I'm not really into tag team matches all that much. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of tag team wrestling. I'm just not. I just tag team wrestling for me. It literally does nothing for me. I don't get why these tag teams are feuding. I don't know what they're feuding over. I don't know why the Dark Order is feuding with Luther, Serpentico, and Angelico and Jack Evans. I don't know what these tag teams are feuding over. I don't know what they're feuding for. It doesn't really make sense to me of what these tag teams are feuding over and what they are feuding for. So I don't really get this tag team match. I really didn't understand it because nothing was on the line in this match. There was nothing to really gain out of this for any of these tag teams. I really didn't understand it, but it was a decent tag team match to start off tonight. It was a really decent tag team to start off tonight for -1's birthday tonight on AEW. This was a decent tag team match. It was alright. I mean, if you like tag team wrestling, this is what you were into. For me, I'm just not into tag team wrestling. I'm just not. I mean, like I said, I don't know what these tag teams are feuding over or what they're feuding for. I don't know why the Dark Order is feuding with Serpentico, Luther, Angelico, and Jack Evans. I don't know what these teams are feuding for or over. So this tag team match didn't really make all that much sense to me, since there's nothing on the line on this during this match. There's nothing on the line. There's nothing they're fighting for. They're just feuding to be feuding, I guess. I don't know. And Hangman Page and the Dark Order ended up picking the win over Angelico, Jack Evans, Serpentico, and Luther tonight to start off Hangman Page and the Dark Order pick up the win over Serpentico, Luther, Angelico, and Jack Evans tonight to start off -1's birthday. And then we had Cody Rhodes versus Pretty Peter Avalon. I don't get this match. This match was really strange to me. I didn't really understand it. I didn't get this match at all. It was a decent one-on-one match between Cody and Pretty Peter Avalon. I don't know what this match was about. It was just a pretty decent one-on-one men's match tonight on AEW. I don't really get this match at all. I really don't understand it. I don't get this match between Cody and Pretty Peter Avalon. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I mean, it was a decent match. It was alright. I mean, I didn't really think much of it. It was an alright match, to be honest, tonight on AEW. It was just decent. I mean, it was a decent one-on-one men's match tonight on AEW, and Cody Rhodes ends up picking up the win over Pretty Peter Avalon tonight on AEW. And then we had a segment with Sting and Darby Allin. This was the best segment of the night tonight if you're asking my opinion, this segment with Sting and Darby Allin tonight on AEW was the best segment of the night. I'm a huge fan of Sting and I'm a huge fan of Darby Allin. So this was a really awesome segment with Sting and Darby Allin tonight on AEW. This was a really, really good segment with Darby Allin and Sting tonight on AEW. And then we had John Moxley versus Nick Camardo. Nick Camardo, I guess. Camarado, I guess. I don't know how you announce his name. But we had John Moxley versus some guy named Nick Camarado. Some jobber I've never heard of. I've never heard of this dude. You had John Moxley versus some kind of jobber and Nick Camarado. I don't know if I don't care if I'm announcing his name right. I don't really care. John Moxley had to fight some kind of jobber. I don't get why they're putting John Moxley against jobbers. I don't really get that. I mean, you had John Moxley face Nick Camarado, who is a complete and utter jobber. Who I've never heard of this dude in my life. I've never heard of him. I don't know where he came from. I know nothing about this guy. I've never seen him on AEW before. John Moxley fights a jobber in the name of Nick Camarado, and John Moxley picks up the win over Nick Camarado tonight on AEW. And then we had Penelope Ford versus Layla Hirsch tonight in a one-on-one women's match tonight on AEW. This was an alright women's match. It wasn't that great between Penelope Ford and Layla Hirsch. This was an alright women's match. I just didn't care for this match between Penelope Ford and Layla Hirsch tonight on AEW. I just didn't care for it. This match did nothing for me. It was just alright. I mean, it was alright. It really didn't do anything for me. I just didn't care for it. I didn't really care for it at all. So Penelope Ford ends up picking up the win over Layla Hirsch tonight on AEW. And then we had Matt Hardy and Private Party versus Matt Sydal and Top Flight tonight on AEW in another tag team match. This was another tag team match, which I mean it was a decent tag team match with Matt Sydal and Top Flight versus Matt Hardy and Private Party tonight on AEW in a tag team match. This match was decent. I really didn't care for it. I mean, I just didn't. I'm not a fan of tag team wrestling, man. It's like I keep saying, AEW is overdoing it with tag team wrestling. They're oversaturating the product with too much tag team wrestling. It's too much. I mean, they're overdoing it. It's oversaturating their product. When you're putting on so many tag team matches, you're killing the product. I mean, no one cares about all these tag team matches when these tag teams have nothing to feud over. So, but tonight we had Matt Hardy and Private Party versus Matt Sydal and Top Flight. This was an alright tag team match tonight on AEW. I didn't care for it. It was what it was with this match. I didn't really care for it all that much. If you like tag team wrestling, you love this tag team match. I mean, if you're a fan of tag team wrestling, you love AEW because of tag team wrestling. So, but Matt Hardy and Private Party ended up picking up the win over Matt Sydal and Top Flight tonight on AEW. So Matt Hardy and Private Party pick up the win over Matt Sydal and Top Flight tonight on AEW. And then we had the Inner Circle. This was the main event of AEW tonight. This was the main event. It was a 3-way tag team match with the Inner Circle. I don't care about the Inner Circle all that much. I just don't care. So you had a 3-way tag team match with the Inner Circle in the main event of AEW tonight, with MJF and Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, and Santana and Ortiz. So this was a three-way tag team match in the main event of AEW with the Inner Circle tonight. And Chris Jericho and MJF ended up picking up the win over Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager and Santana and Ortiz in the main event of AEW tonight. This was the main event of AEW. I mean, I don't really care about the Inner Circle. I'm not a huge fan of Jericho. I don't really care about the Inner Circle all that much. The Inner Circle does nothing for me. So I wasn't interested in this. I really didn't care for it. So MJF and Chris Jericho, they pick up the win over Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager and Santana and Ortiz in this three-way tag team match tonight in the main event of AEW for the Inner Circle. So there you go. Other than that, the best two things about AEW tonight was a segment with Darby Allin and Sting and the John Moxley microphone segment. That was really good as well. John Moxley is awesome on the microphone, so that was really cool. Seeing John Moxley cut a promo tonight on the microphone. So the John Moxley promo and the segment with Sting and Darby Allin, those were the two best things tonight on AEW. So guys, if you guys like this AEW review, hit that thumbs up. You guys make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Hit that notification bell for the notifications. I'd appreciate that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this AEW review tonight. AEW wasn't all that great tonight. There was just way too many tag team matches for me during this show. This show didn't do anything for me. This was the birthday show for -1 tonight for Brody Lee's son. It was Brody Lee's son's birthday tonight. His name is -1. So, happy birthday to -1. Overall, this show wasn't all that great. It really wasn't. This show was a 2 out of 10. The best two things about AEW tonight was the segment with Darby Allin and Sting and the John Moxley promo segment. That was the best two things on AEW tonight. Other than that, AEW just didn't do anything for me. I'm going to give AEW a 2 out of 10. This show was complete. This show was just, it was It didn't do nothing for me. I mean, it was the birthday for -1 tonight on AEW for Brody Lee's son. So this show was booked. He booked the show tonight. They let Brody Lee's son book the show tonight, and this show was horrendous. This show was absolute. This show did nothing for me. I'm gonna give AEW a 2 out of 10 tonight. So guys, thank you guys for watching this AEW review. AEW was garbage tonight. This show was booked around the birthday of Brody Lee's son. His name is -1. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching this AEW review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So overall tonight, AEW gets a 2 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching this AEW review. You guys have a great night. We'll talk to you later, guys. I'm out.